Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we're going to do another Fritzy Faves, Fails, and Mess. The first thing was supposed to be in last month's favorite, but I held it off until this month because it was out of stock. Like almost immediately this thing went out of stock and I was told it would be back for October. So this is September favorites. In October, I want to tell you about this bag, which apparently I have makeup on now. But that's okay, because you know what? Because of what this is made of, I can just wipe that right off. You might remember they came out with a travel set, and the travel set is really good for taking makeup and brushes too, but this is just for your brushes. Actually, you could use it for makeup. I use it for just brushes. I set this right beside my makeup to hold the makeup brushes that I'm currently using. As you probably guessed, I have makeup brushes in caddies in front of me, to the side of me, over there, behind me. In fact, I have grabbed this. This is in the background. Let's just grab a handful of these bigger brushes here. I want to show you this. I don't know how many I have. But so, you know, it sits like this because it has a nice bottom on it that will allow me to set it down. And then let's say I wanted to take it with me. I just pull up like that. They're all protected. Zip it up to keep it from getting contaminated and put it in my travel bag. I love this thing. And like I said, at the time you're seeing this, it ought to be back in stock by now. This is what was in there, and there was still a lot of room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brushes that are rather large, so you can imagine how many eye brushes could fit in here. BK Beauty has been tearing it up. Congratulations, Lisa. And also, as I'm telling you this, I already know that this will be a favorite because I like the first set, but Angie's travel set is due here any day.
The next morning.
This is the Angie Hot and Flashy set. I mean, as you can see over here, I have more brushes than just Angie's, but these are shorter versions of her big brushes. See, this one says T for travel, but if you look, they're the exact same head, just smaller handle. This sits on the counter very nicely, and as you can see, you can just roll this up and zip it, roll it down, and then just use it on the countertop to hold your brushes. I love BK Beauty's regular travel set brushes, probably even more than the regular size brushes, because I'm a person who, off camera, when I'm doing my makeup, I am on top of the mirror. And so the shorter handles work best for me. Now I have a really piece of crap thing to tell you about, and I don't have it here because I took it back. I told you guys about this story, how I'd been pulled over by a policeman for having my phone in my hand. I'm like going down the road, talking with my phone like this. Even though the car has it, I'm still, I don't know, I feel like Mary Ellen could hear me better if I got the phone right here. So I'm like driving down the road with my phone like this. I think the only reason he gave me a warning was because of the sheer innocence of really, truly not knowing I couldn't do that. I did not know. I mean, I can drive down the road, need a Big Mac, which is going to induce a car wreck, but I can't go down the road talking with my phone like that. Anyway, he suggested that I get one of these phone holders that goes on your dash to hold the phone like that. So like when I'm driving, I can just look over there because that's so much less distracting. But anyway, so I got one. No. This thing, no matter what I did, and I'm going to show it to you so that you know which one it is. And I don't know, at least if you have a Mustang with a kind of a really rough dash, don't get this. 2 times I went out there and it's just laying in the seat, and I never even had a chance to put the phone in it and use it. I mean, I was letting it sit overnight so that it would get, you know, get more time to really stick down before I put a phone in it. Twice I went out there before I even got to use it, and the stupid thing was on the seat. So it went back. So that I do not recommend. It doesn't get it gets a fail. I've got several cases, but I like this one because it's got the ring holder built into it. It's like a silicone material with cushioning in it in case I drop it. It's light, and then I can like play my games at night in the bed without dropping this thing on my face. Which happens with some of my heavier cases. So I also really like the screen protector that is on this phone. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you the crack, but trust me when I tell you there's a crack that runs all the way down this, because I had this in my back pocket and I sat down on pavers and the phone went like that and it cracked. But prior to that, this phone hit the garage floor so many times it wasn't funny, okay, face down, and the old screen protectors that I used, I would have had to immediately change it. I don't know how many I went through with the last phone. This is the one I got this time. So easy to install. It's not any easier really than the kind I used to use, which I promise you every single time I dropped it, it broke. This has really taken a beating, but it's not too bad. So it has this case that fits on your phone, and then all you do is go and pull it off, and it's on there. Now the video for it makes you think that it's not going to have any air bubbles. Yeah, it does. It did with me anyway. But I can speak to the durability of this. So I really like these two things that I didn't even plan on talking about. Here's another thing I wasn't really planning on talking about, but it's sitting here. It's the cord for this, not the monitor itself. I had this, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk to you about the Omron monitor because I think that it might be useful information for you. I have had this monitor, this one here, gosh, years. Well, my doctor wanted me to start monitoring my blood pressure, so I've been monitoring it, but I couldn't believe, like, wow, I might actually need a blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure is pretty up there. And it really never has been in the past. So then I went online and started reading about, you know, is this still a good monitor? How do I calibrate it? How do I know if this is good? Now it takes 4 AA's here in the back. And I thought, well, what if the batteries are like getting kind of low, but you don't know if they're still good or not? So anyway, I got online, I started reading, and I read that the Omron monitors, or these blood pressure monitors that you do at home, that they're only really good for a couple of years. So I thought, wow, this is years and years old. I guess I better get a new monitor. So I got another Omron, and it was one that talks to your phone. I thought, well, if I'm going to get a new one, let's get one with Bluetooth so that I don't have to enter all of this information for the doctor. Well, that monitor 4 out of 5 times was coming up with an error 5 code. And I purchased this AC adapter for that monitor. Now, it fits mine. And I kept this and the old monitor after I took it to my doctor, and they took my blood pressure and checked it against this. There's nothing wrong with this. I decided that the cord is better than batteries because I don't have to worry about whether or not the batteries are still good. Never paid attention to the fact that I could buy an AC adapter for it. So the monitor that I bought went back, but I kept the cord, and I'm using it with this monitor every morning to check and know that it's correct. I don't have to worry about if the batteries are going low or not. This AC adapter makes it consistent every single time. Good. Let's do a little feel-good promotion of a small business, a small woman-owned business, which you know I like to do. One day a woman named Krista wrote me and she said, hey, she's got this business. She makes her own soaps and lip balms. She started a subscription service. This is the card that came in the box for the subscription that she sent me to try. So you can sign up at their website and get that. And if you use Glitzy 10, you will get 10% off. Her name is Krista, small business, and her company is called Cut the Crap Organics. And I have to be honest, it was the name that made me do a second look. I want to support women-owned businesses. You know I'm big on that, especially small women-owned businesses. But I'm not in a place right now where I should probably be accepting more soap. So initially I was going to say, you know, maybe try me at a later time, but the name of the company. Cut the Crap. The first box she sent me, I was like, oh, I was heartbroken because it just so happened that the first box set, I mean, look how adorable that is. That month's subscription was psychedelic tie-dye. I had the cap off and was about to put it on my mouth, and I noticed that it said hemp seed on it. And I went, uh-oh, the doctor told me no CBD. No hemp, no nothing like that, because that stuff is so unregulated, it could throw a false negative. A false negative would be bad too, but no, he said a false positive on and then you're going to be without a contract. I didn't even try this because as soon as I get here, the smell of patchouli smacks me in the face, and I absolutely detest with everything in me. Ew. The smell of patchouli. But look how beautiful. I mean, I want to use this super bad just because it's so beautiful. But like I said, patchouli. So I was heartbroken to have to tell her that. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can still show the product and tell about the service and just say what I just said. I don't like patchouli. I can't use anything with hemp or CBD, but you may like the service. Well, she decided to go ahead and send me another box. So the box that I got that I could use was this lip balm. It's blackberry and honey, and I love it. It smells just like the blackberries outside on the bush. This is very nourishing, and I really like that lip balm, and I've been using the crap out of the soap. It lathers up super nice, but I was concerned that, like a lot of handmade soaps that I've used, it would strip my skin, but it hasn't, and I use it every single time that I get in the shower, and I've worn it down quite a bit now. I really like your stuff, Krista, and I hope that your business does very well. I will have the URL to her website down below in case you want to go and support her and subscribe to a monthly fun soapbox. You guys know how I feel about red light therapy. This company wrote to me and said, can we send you our red light therapy belt? Now I've got it plugged in over here so that you can see. It's a 30-minute session. I can do that easy, just put on Mary Tyler Moore or something like that and put the belt on. So what you do is you press this to get the power on, 30 seconds. And if you hold it down more, it does this, right? It does this flashing. Shortly after I started using this, my pain started subsiding. Now, I don't know if it was just time for my pain to subside or if this actually played a role in it, but I do know that red light therapy is used for pain management. Supposedly the strobing is for more intense pain, okay? Actually, that's on solid. If I hold it in, see, then it'll change to strobing. And then this button right next to it is for heat. So you can turn it on. Low is the default, and then medium and high. So I have been using this and enjoying it. It's got a nice little plastic cover over it so that you can wipe it off and keep it sanitary. You can use it on your shoulder, on your hip, on your back. I just wanted to give a shout out to these people, tell you guys it's possible this had some to do with the reason that I started healing after I started using it. I cannot guarantee that that's what it was, because around the same time my doctor started giving me manipulations, and so, you know, it could be either or both. But if this belt did have anything to do with the reason that I'm feeling better, thank you for sending that to me. And now I bring to you a product. For those of you with air fryers, you probably know that these are silicone air fryer baskets. Supposedly you can just throw these in the dishwasher, and if you do, this is what you're gonna be looking at. And I'm like, ew. And like, ugh. And before you say, well, Mary, maybe you should change your rinse agent or use one. I use a really good one. This shouldn't be like this, right? I have two 5-quart Cosari air fryers. And it seems like every time I want to use it, somebody else has already used it and got it dirty and then didn't clean it up. So I thought, well, what if I got these? First of all, if we can get past this growtiness, all right? And you might think, well, just wash them by hand. Well, I did. The first time I was just going to wash them by hand. That didn't work out very well, unless they're for like broccoli, vegetables that you're maybe steaming or something. There's no holes, which if there was, it'd kind of defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? But yeah, we have a problem here because if you throw French fries in here, they are soggy. They never get crisp. Bacon doesn't do very well in here. And I mean, you can't use these very well. They retain the oil in here. It's just, no, not a good situation, at least for the Cosari and these particular ones. If you know what I need, please enlighten me. I don't like this though. This situation is ugh. Even though I've tried pretty much, I think, everything that Mad Hippie has in their collection as far as skincare goes, and also their makeup, I had never tried their sunscreen. They wrote to me not that long ago, and they said, hey, Mary, what are you out of? What do you need? What would you like to try? And I'm like, I know everything about you. But, you know, I mean, if you want to send me stuff, yay, I love your stuff. But I'll tell you what, I've never tried your sunscreen. So they sent me all of it. So we have the Ultra Sheer Body SPF. It is 40 plus UVA, UVB. And because it's Mad Hippie, and if you don't know it, they were surfers. They might still be. But anyway, It is reef safe, of course, 80-minute water resistant, fragrance free. I have used a lot of this and I love this. I love this body sunscreen. The Sheer Tint Sun Serum in light medium. I love it. I wear it as makeup. It's got a ball bearing in it. See, there you go. It's this tint. Let me just spread that out. It's got a little luminosity to it. It's beautiful. I love it. So pretty. This one here is 29 SPF and this one's 30. I don't know what that one does or why it's more, but same thing. Shake it up. It comes out like so. SPF in it is zinc oxide. In all of them it is. But you know, it's got some Mad Hippie ingredients. You know, they've always got such a great ingredient deck in all of their stuff. This one here is in a tube. You just have to figure out which one you like the best. This one has squalene and hyaluronic acid, so I don't need to tell you that all of these sunscreens are very nourishing, right? You're not going to feel dry at all. So I highly recommend, of course, I've always recommended Mad Hippie. Thanks to Mad Hippie, I've now tried all their sunscreen and I love them all. And then there's another one that was recommended by you guys and yes, I love this too. This is from Missha. I'm gonna have to look up who said to get this, but this is SPF 42 and I have it in number 21, light beige. This is a perfect like SPF makeup for me. Look, it's quite a bit thicker than the Mad Hippie, has more coverage than the Mad Hippie. It's almost like a really light foundation and it's beautiful. It really is. Look at that. So I just put that on, wait a little bit, put on my blush, my lip balm, out the door. It does really well. I think this looks as good on my skin as my Color Science does and it's not as much money. All right, let's talk about some makeup and we'll start with the two things that I purchased and that would be the new Lancome Care and Glow Concealer and the Haus Labs, it's got a big long name, I know. And I'm not going to go into a lot of depth here because I'm going to do a video like my top 5 concealers for 2023 where I'll go into more depth. But suffice to say that I like this concealer better than Lancome's other Idol concealer, which I loved that one. Let me grab it. This one here is 110 from the Idol. And their brush, it like big old fat applicator. It does good, but you know, it flips concealer everywhere. There's that one. And this is good, all right? But I actually prefer this one, the Care and Glow, because of that serum-like quality. This has a different doe foot. It doesn't flip concealer everywhere. This one is lighter because the whole Care and Glow line is different. This is 110 and that's 115C. This theoretically, according to Lancome's scale, should actually be darker than this one, but it's not. There is that whole color difference between the two lines and I don't understand that at all, but I like the Care and Glow better than this, and this is not a shabby concealer at all. This just has more of a serum hydrated look to it, dewy even, than this one does. And this one, like I said, wasn't bad at all, but I am really enjoying this. And then Haus Labs new concealer really took me by surprise. It goes on creamy, liquidy, dries very quickly to a really nice matte finish. It's not dewy when it sets. And lately I haven't really liked a matte setting because it kind of turns to looking cakey on me, but this one, no, it looks really good. And like I said, I'll be talking to you about those more in a video about concealers. Now, if I somehow manage to put that up before this one, I'll link it. Recently, I did a lippy video, and from the holiday set of Sephora, I still am enjoying Tarte Maracuja. It feels so good. It's a lip plump. This is in Cherry Blossom. So they have different shades of it. Also from that kit, I have been enjoying this, and it's the smell. It's also a lip plumper. This smells like Christmas in a bottle to me. So I like this one and its convenience and everything a little bit better than the Patrick Ta, but I really enjoy the Patrick Ta as well. If you want a lip plumper that makes you feel like Christmas, the Patrick Ta is it. If you want one that's more like buxom, I think that this is how I remember it felt to wear buxom. I haven't had that in a long time, but I really loved White Russian. I might have to look back into getting one of those. But these two I bought, and I love them. Still talking about lip products, Sigma sent me all of the lip creams. Now, Begonia is gone because I keep it in my jacket pocket. And I apply it whenever I'm out. I love Begonia. I think next favorite might be Dusty Rose, just because it matches my own lip color so well. And then New Maud. But all of these, they're so good, guys. And I know that you know that I'm affiliated with Sigma. But I wouldn't be affiliated with Sigma if they made crap products. And they just keep coming out with better products. I mean, I love the lip oils, and I love their lipsticks, and I love these more than both because they're just so comfortable. They go on like a lip oil. They're creamy, and I love everything about these. Good job, Sigma. These are just wonderful. You know, I cannot wait until they introduce concealer, foundation. I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so highly recommend these. I'll link the video where I talked about these in case you, and also these two I just talked about. Okay, if you want to see what these all look like on me, I'll link that video. Let's talk about the foundation I have on, which is this by bareMinerals, the original Pure Serum Radiant Natural Liquid Foundation. They sent me this. The shade I'm wearing right now, I really didn't think would work, okay, because it's Fair Neutral 1.5. If it said Light Neutral 1.5, I thought, oh yeah, that'll work. But I was really skeptical, even though this does look darker than Fair. Turns out that Fair for bareMinerals is like not as fair as other brands that I wear. I think it's a good shade match. The finish on it is really good. I will say I don't like wearing this foundation on my forehead. And that's because I have wrinkles up here. All right, they're deeper wrinkles, and this gets in there. If I wear this with powder, it starts looking pretty cakey about the 4th hour. I think we can agree that it looks nice, and I have powdered it with my Lancome Long Time No Shine, but I'm not into settling at all, and it does settle from here up. So if you don't have a lot of wrinkles for this to settle into, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. And as far as longevity goes, the first night that I wore this, I went through, you know how I take it off to see how much is left at the end of the night? So I wore it all day, right? And I soaked up 3 of these front and back, getting the foundation off. So yes, it does hang around with a setting spray. The reason that's so surprising to me is because when I did this time test, what I did was I left it with just a setting spray on the right side of my face, and I powdered and used a setting spray on the left side of my face. And I thought that the right side of my face would be gone before 4 hours was over with, because even after everything had set down, I could still go in the bathroom, touch my face, and come off with foundation. So that was very puzzling that at the end of the night, there was still foundation on my face. This has an SPF 20 in it, which I don't like SPF in my foundation. The last thing we're going to talk about is the company and its products, Florasis. I know you know this company. This company is touted to be the most beautiful makeup in the world. You've probably seen them on Instagram. Everybody and their brother has reviewed them. When I show you the eyeshadow palette, you're going to go, oh yeah, I know who that is. Florasis is a Chinese company. Website's in English, so you could go there and read it and know what's going on. But the products, they all have Chinese all over them. And I'm like, what the heck? So here's one. This is what I'm talking about. Thanks to you guys, though, I know what is in all of this stuff because I got the Translate app from Google on there, and all you got to do is take a picture and it will translate it. So I know what it says. A lot of flower ingredients is in this. It's a very luxurious brand. I've never seen anything like it. For the most part, I don't like this. I know everybody talks about how beautiful it is, and it is. All right, there are 3 shades in here that, wow, I used them and I was like, oh, this is everything a Tom Ford eyeshadow is. This is everything of any luxury eyeshadow I've ever had. It is for 3 of these shades, and that would be this one, that one, and this more burgundy-ish one over here. And that's because these are more of a satin color, and they have a lot of great payoff with the brush. Look at that. They have that satin luxury, looks good on mature eyes, kind of thing going on. If you've ever used a Tom Ford, a Lancome, Chanel, Dior, anything like that, if you've ever used a luxury brand's eyeshadow, this is what we're looking at. Foolproof for mature eyes, right? You just take a brush and oh, it goes on so beautifully. But then then we have this and this, which I guess could be used as highlighters in addition to eyeshadows. That color, not so interested in putting on my eyes, but I did use it as a blush. This one, that one, and that blue, horrendous when it comes to the sparkly crap that I hate, all right? Those little tiny sparkles are all through those shades. It's terrible, okay? It's worse than any Pat McGrath shadow I ever used. But on the pretty scale, it is so, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, but I don't like all them sparkles all over my face. And even when I use their skincare removal stuff, which I'm going to show you, those were still on my face. So B, no, you don't want this, honey. B is like me, of the Fritzy family, that all rhymed. B is like me with, no, I don't want to fish this stuff out of my pores. But I do enjoy the way this one looks. Look at that. That's just gorgeous, just beautiful. And I'll tell you what, I wish that, and I may ask for Christmas, the face palette from them, because that looks like something that I just would really, really like. And it's gorgeous. So I really want to try that. But the eyeshadows, unless they didn't have any of these sparkles in them, no. I don't recommend this to anyone like me. This one here is the Floral Engraving Phoenix Makeup Palette. So it says makeup palette, not eyeshadow palette. So I guess maybe I'm right. And this is highlight and blush in the middle here. It's in 03 Soaring Sunlight. I wish they'd have sent this to me in one of the other ones. I don't think they had as much of this sparkle stuff going on in those. I don't know though, because it's not here. The next makeup item that they sent was this powder. This is a hilarious story. Shy Guy too, not just me. I almost threw this away because I was so mad I couldn't get it open. I pushed on this. I pulled on this. I did everything I could. I tried to flip this thing off here. I took it to Shy Guy. Well, you know how this opens? Twist. That's how this powder opens. You have to twist, and that was by accident. Shy Guy just happened to accidentally twist it, and he goes, oh, that's what you have to do. This puff is very, very luxe. Nice. I don't like this powder though. As the queen of powder here, self-proclaimed of course, I don't like this. Watch. All right, powders that are so finely milled that they do that, I don't like, because number one, I don't like to breathe it. And number two, I'm thinking of a couple of powders that I've had that have been like that. Because they are so finely milled, you would think, wow, and just over my skin, no makeup, it does look pretty good. But this over foundation looks horrid. And when I say that to you, keep in mind that I was one of the few people who did not love By Terry's Hydra Powder. No, I didn't like that. It was like this, where it's like so in the air and you're gonna breathe it. It looks similar on my skin to how I remember the By Terry looked. I'm thinking that maybe there was one at the drugstore that was like that too, where it was real cloud, finely milled powder white. No, I didn't like it. I don't like this powder either. That's two in the makeup category from them that's like, not for me. But the skincare now, that's a different story. This oil, it has this clip that keeps this pump from going down so you don't accidentally get it out of there. They get tops for packaging. I've never seen companies that package like this one does, for makeup anyway, but maybe I'm not buying high-end enough makeup. Look at that. It's like the pump has a leaf on it and stuff. It's just really cool. But this is an oil that you would use for a first cleanse, of course. And I'm thinking it must have this flower. Oh, that smells good. It smells just like the real flower would. Okay, I'm going to put that back on there so I don't accidentally squirt this stuff out. I'm going to put it on my sink and use it for a little while longer. But this isn't my favorite one. My favorite is the balm. This is the Ginseng Cleansing Balm. Take that off there. This isn't a piece of crap. It's actually a strong metal, and you can use that to get this up. I haven't used a lot of it, but it's a very nice cleansing balm. And it did a good job of melting down my makeup and taking it off. And I think, for me, it did better than this did, even though this is very nice. I like both of these. And, you know, there's something about this kind of product that just makes you feel so luxurious, doesn't it? This I'll probably rebuy, even though this is incredibly wasteful. So you don't really need to read Chinese to understand what you're supposed to do once you open it up. I want you to see how wonderful this is. And it gets off every bit of your makeup. This one here is for your face. This is for your eyes. So if you wanted to store them differently, I guess you could. Let me show you the size of this and the thickness of this. It's wonderful. You've got this towelette thing that is infused with floral cleansers, and it does a fantastic job. I don't normally like makeup wipes, so I didn't think I was going to like this, but look how big that is and very strong. And you can smell that it is for cleansing your face, all right? I hate that I just wasted that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is fold it back up, put it in here so I can use it tonight. The size of it, the thickness of it, it did a fantastic job. I love these, even though that's kind of wasteful to put them all in individuals, but how else could you travel with them? You know? The eye one has different ingredients in it. It's for your eyes. It's smaller, does a really good job, nice and thick, so it's not going to tear up in your hands. I wish they had an option for, you know, a packet that you could pull out or whatever so that, you know, I don't know, all this packaging, but it's beautiful and luxurious, right? And thank you to Floraces for sending this stuff to me. It's just beautiful. It really is. Tell me below what you guys tried this month, what you loved, what you hated. We need to know that too. We especially need to know if you hate something because we don't want to fall into the trap of buying crap, right? I hope that you guys know that you're not crap. I love you. You're the best part of the Fritzy family. And that if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
And I think the only reason that I got off was because that doesn't sound very good. Cut the craps or cut the craps. Cut your craps out. Cut the craps. Not like with scissors in your butt. Don't do that. That's nasty. It's also very immature. Ugh, I don't like it. Keep smelling it. Why do you keep smelling it if you don't like it, idiot? Just put it away. I don't know. I think it's going to change, maybe, if I just keep smelling it. In case you want to subscribe to and be on your soapbox. He's got a nice little plastic, what's that called? Hey, baby, look how disgusting this looks. Don't you want to put your food in there? Shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Yeah, brings concealer every concealer everywhere. If you want one that's more like a buxom, okay? So, oh my gosh, I broke the little flower off. This smells like an authentic flower, and it popped off. Mary had a flower and its head popped. No. Oh, I'm flipping cleanser all over me. Flipping, stop it. All right, then let's stretch. I need a nap. I need to go take a little snooze fast. What about you? Are you asleep? Wake up.